Erickson's stages of development was a theory that came in the 1960s, especially because it came in, and there are longevity studies of people that lived into their 90s, and some of these people got studied to see what was happening with them astrologically, what was happening with them with their mental development, what was happening as they moved forward through life. If in any area of your life you are not hopeful or trusting, some part of your body, your development got stuck in being under the age of 1.5. Why is this important during this time? Because we are having all of these stars alignments, especially early in this month. Everything is about balancing you and your emotions and all that happened and all that did not happen in your DNA and in your genetics. Let me say that another way. Carl Jung and so many of the scientists really classified all the components, elements that make up your body as coming from fires, the stars. Quantum physics went on to share what happens over here to a particle that was once connected, right? You were part of a star, you were part of God, you were part of the universe. And at one point, the calcium in you, energy converted into calcium here on Earth multiplied. What happens in the calcium out here happens to all of us, happens to you. So is above, so is below. All of the iron that gives the red to your blood. Oh, wow. That connects you to the gravity of the earth. Intensely beautiful. Right now, get clear, build trust, feel hopeful, especially about your life. It's interesting. I hope I'm not, it just gave me a signal that said this internet is not stable. And so we'll see how we can go. Where is autonomy? Where is your autonomy, this word? Who of us is working on autonomy versus shame? Anytime you feel shame, wow, you have to will yourself into doing or taking an action. Any shame that's felt, action must come in. All right, then, and that's around the age of 3. If you have fear or shame around asking for help, I did. Oh my gosh, and now I can ask, and I'm so proud of myself. I pat myself on the back, right? As even as a doctor, oncology, everything, I did it all. I did it all by myself, with God's help, I would say, with Source's help, with Love's help. But oh my gosh, I didn't sleep. And I'm so grateful back then I did it that way, because I wouldn't be here able to talk to you proudly. I carried a lot of shame in a lot of areas of my life. And I'm so grateful to have the depth of that. I couldn't ask for money. Where did that come from? I'm so glad that I willed myself. Will yourself, have the courage, create that. The next, initiative versus guilt. So many of the planets, and if you need to hear which planets, send me a note and I will send you sort of the summary of which planets, and you can chart them in your own house. Initiative, right? Purpose, initiative versus guilt. Deep purpose for this fall, deep purpose for you. Do you want $1 billion so you can build your peace gardens? Yes, please. Great purpose in that. So there is no guilt in receiving any energy or love. I'm balancing that. Any money conversations? Yay! Great purpose, right? Find your purpose for every area. And then industry versus inferiority. How crazy is that? Let me say that again. You can have the competency of Buddha, Christ, love. Every person that has had a near-death experience and comes back and says, oh my gosh, you can have every skill that any other person has. You just have to tap into that area, that channel, that location. Let me say that another way. A mom who sees her child stuck under a tree can, when she's not thinking, lift thousands of pounds. You, can say prayers to say, God, guide me, universe, guide me. And you will be surprised when you truly, truly have competence in your connection to source, to love, to God. It's a muscle that you build every day. Identity versus role confusion is the next stage. This usually, most people get their identity fully and they feel safe in their identity by the age of 18. Teen years, they had to separate from their parents. They had to see all the shadows of their parents and express the shadow. What is the shadow? It's the part of yourself that you cannot fully accept. So, for example, as a kid, I used to eat a lot. Yum, 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 yum. I'd go house to house in our family unit and I'd say, please feed me. I want an egg and some chicken. Nobody fed me. And I'd have food all over my face. Quite evident I'd been eating everywhere. A nice little trail behind me. And someone one day said, don't be a beggar. And all of my joy around eating and blah, blah, blah went into the shadow. Oh, if I ask for food, I'm a beggar. And a beggar was the worst thing you could be. As a child, right? They were scary people. As a child, what a crazy thought now. So the shadow self, right? Any energy around that suppressed that. Let me say that another way. I went and fed the homeless every day in high school and in all of the college, all throughout. There was a shadow energy present because I was trying to make peace while I had an eating disorder, trying to make peace with the shadow. And when did I get power over it? When did I become information rather than, right, something that affected me? When purpose came in. I wanted to be the best mom I could possibly be, pregnant with my daughter. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I started eating and not throwing up and not over-exercising. Started learning about every way for that brain development. When you give yourself a role, I'm going to be a mom, competence, all of this stuff that went before, competence, purpose, will. I dropped that bad habit just like that. Hope, so important. When does love come in, right? When does true love come into an understanding of that for most people? Full brain development happens at 40. There are 3 regions, 3 types of love that your brain, this is recent, I learned this from Emotional Intelligence, the doc that did that, Daniel Goldman. So intimacy is one level, eros, attachment, and then the 3rd level is so beautiful, is care. People can be missing care. People can be missing the sexual drive. People can be missing attachment. At age 40, you begin to see you might be missing parts of that in yourself. And you can develop it. Parents can help you develop it. Society can help you develop it prior to them. But at 40, you can step on that walk and be able to witness it yourself. It's amazing. Care, real deep care, usually comes in your 40s as well. And that's, you know, all of this, if you are in your 40s or above, and you are stagnant, start caring for things around you. And that this fall, wow, you launch yourself forward because of these energies that are available from the cosmos, that are alive, dancing within you. And so the last little part, Erickson scale, right? Ego integrity versus despair. They say, you know, the regrets. There are so many regrets as people get into their 60s, into those older ages. And if you are taking courageous steps every day, giving every day, feeling those feelings every day from here, wow, your entire body, your entire system, your entire DNA is redesigned. So October, November, December this year, wow. I can tell you about each of the planets. We could spend energy there. That's important to you as we jump into answering your questions. Or you can really listen for the word for you to pay intensely to pay attention to this season of fall. Yay. In this segment, we covered so much. Erickson's scale. We also covered more of the feelings. It's really important to understand feelings come first. Biologically speaking, in your body, you have the feeling first. Then your mind searches for why you're having that feeling. If you take things personally when you shouldn't, you're going to invent a reason for that feeling that is not you. Oh, I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited to jump into answering your questions. Thank you for being here.